G'day guys, Shaun McManus here for team selection. Here we are again, joined by senior coach Ross Lyon ahead of this Len Hall tribute game against the Doggies. Ross, this is going to be an absolute cracker, but before we look forward to this game, let's go back to GWS on the weekend. Tough conditions to play down in Canberra.
Yeah, I think it was 45-kilometre winds and very swirly, so you could see at times the ball was moving 20 metres across in the air. So challenging, but we thought, like, they're a quality team, and you know, we got 16 points in the last quarter with an opportunity to go to 9 and didn't quite nail it. So we're really pleased to take a young team into state and fight and scrap it out. But we had lots of entries, but we just couldn't get our structure in front of the ball quite right. So Bulldogs are a big challenge, and because we feel we're in form and they've built form, it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I guess conditions this weekend, looking forward to it, it could be a bit dicey too. So playing last weekend with the windy conditions, does that help you in that? I know it's wet possibly, but you know, a bit dodgy, same circumstances?
Well, I hope it does, but I'm not too sure. So we're expecting heavy rain on the weekend, and we haven't played in rain for a long time. So the new Perth Stadium, Optus Stadium, dries out quite well, is how we understand it. So, but we'll need to look at the team. The Bulldogs aren't a super tall team. They've got Redpath down there, Bontempelli has been playing forward and going on ball. So, you know, we've typically got 3 tall defenders, Alex Pearce, Johnson and Hamley, and they can play a bit smaller. If we weren't to go with those 3, we'd bring in Taylor Duman for his first game. And we're also looking at Ed Langdon. We felt we missed his run on the wing last week. He's been critical. He's a really hard runner. And with Brad Hill out, it compounds that we need his run.
I guess one thing playing the Bulldogs this weekend, geez, they seem to have found some form over the weekend. They were spinning their wheels, I reckon, in the first couple of weeks, but certainly last week, different story. Yeah,
their first 2 weeks went great, but the previous 2, they've been really strong. I think it was Essendon from memory they got hold of.
Yes, Sydney.
And then Sydney, a mature team that found a way to win, but Doggies had an extra 15 entries, so they'll be disappointed with that. And I think we've beaten them the last 2 times we've played over here. So we take some confidence out of that, and we're 2-2. We think, you know, playing some reasonable footy, and we just see it as an opportunity to improve, and our young guys be supported by our leaders like Fife and Mundy and Sandilands, and we think we'll be right in the game, but it's a big challenge.
Certainly is. You mentioned about the connection really from the forwards, 53 inside 50s last weekend. So
56, Sean.
56, I don't want to understate it, that's for sure.
Well,
that's huge. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Without giving us a whole insight on the way you speak to the team going forward, scoring and making sure they're succinct to each other, how do you go about that?
Well, that connection piece, but when you think Haynes for them is a very experienced player, and Shaw, so we had some young players, Crowden, Chera, Brayshaw going through there, and it happens about 3 ways, but they'll fold back on you hard. If you walk up watching the ball, they'll drop back on you. So, and sometimes you just need a bit of patience on delivery. If they're back on you, don't kick it into 2v4 and they sweep it out. So, look, I think we're equal 5th on entries on average for the year, we're averaging 50 last year. I think we're up to 55. So we've improved that, and you know, it's a maths game really. You need entries to score. So look, we're getting the majority. The previous 2 weeks we had great connection, marks and shots, but we played a very good team, and they exposed some of our inexperience and poor decision making. So we've worked on that on the track, the connection piece, and making sure we get in and have equalised numbers and representation. So we think we should see some improvement in that area.
Well, we're looking forward to it, the 23rd Len Hall game, mate. You've been around for quite a few now. It's a big day for the club. Yeah,
it is. Like, Anzac Day is significant and culturally for Australia, where our identity was forged through those campaigns. And, you know, Len Hall, the last Western Australian digger, you know, that survived, you know. So our players are commenting on the Purple Army and how loud they are getting there. So we feel like the first game there against Essendon, then we had the away home game, and they got there. So we're expecting it's going to be challenging circumstances, but if we can get everyone there again, it's like our 19th man really.
Yeah.
It really helps, and the players feel that. So let's get there, let's roar, and we'll do our part by bringing great effort.
Yeah, I'll certainly be there. So will a number of other people. Whether it rains or not, we'll be there supporting the team. I tell you what, the games that Optus have been absolutely sensational. Hopefully that continues this weekend, Ross. Thank you.
Well, that's the aim. Yeah. Thanks, Shaun.
Well, as always, Ross, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, mate. The Len Hall tribute game, remember guys, it's this Saturday. Bounce Down is now at 6:15. Proceedings kick off at 5:30 p.m. with the observance ceremony at 6 p.m. So be in your seats by then. See you there.